What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 19 of the Taste the Cast, our bi-weekly podcast where we talk about what we've been playing and everything in between. My name's Seth.
I'm Frank.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And before we get into what we've been playing, I just want to say thank you to our 10 new subscribers that we've gotten recently. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully you'll stick around for a while. Make sure to comment on the videos. We want to get the conversation going. And also, we have a video that not only surpassed 1,000 views, but we're on our way to 4,000. Pretty exciting, even though some people from some different locations have given us quite a bit of dislikes, which is a little disappointing. But we also got plenty of likes, so pretty cool. Very appreciative of all that, though. It's really cool to see that episode still going. It's still fucking going up. I think we got like 200 views today alone, so for us, that's huge. But yeah, like I said before, we talk about what we've been playing first on every Tasty Cast. Who wants to go first?
I'll go ahead. My list hasn't changed a whole lot with the exception of the last couple of days. So, still playing Final Fantasy 15, Warframe. I did play a little bit of one of the Plus games. I played a little bit of Stories. I still need to play Invisible Ink. Played a little bit of Witcher 3. Not really talking about, these too much just because either I haven't gotten too much further, or in the case of Witcher 3, we're going to be talking about that in this episode already. Mm-hmm. And then the newer ones is I'm now an owner of an Xbox One. So
Congratulations. You now have access to 3 games you didn't have access to.
I do have 3 games? 4 games for it now. So I tried the version of Minecraft for it a little bit, just it's the game that came with it. So I tried that a little bit.
Thoughts on
it? I don't like the way Minecraft plays on a controller. I am very impressed with the draw distance of the game. Mm-hmm. I was surprised to see that on a console. But it is an older game now, so I guess it kind of makes sense. I just know that game is a bit of a RAM war.
It's interesting that you emphasize the controller, because I've also played it on 3 different consoles now, and I think it plays fine on them. But the controller is absolutely kind of a hump to get over. Mm-hmm. It was made for PC. It works so well on PC. Macros really just kind of make that game a lot more smooth. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the controller is definitely kind of a hindrance.
Well, the big one that was really throwing me off is to run. You have to double tap forward.
Yeah, it's awful.
And you could do it on the keyboard as well that way, obviously.
It just feels different.
But it does feel way different, especially when you're using a joystick.
Yeah.
Because you have to bring it all the way back to center, it seems like. And if you go too fast, it doesn't register it. So you have to find the right timing. I don't know, it's weird.
We have like at fighting games, having to do that sucks with an analog.
Yeah.
I like the D-pad myself, but I think that's just us being old school.
Yeah, definitely.
D-pads. I only use D-pads if I'm like really struggling with moves. Like, motherfucker.
I use D-pad for every fighting game.
Me too.
Ugh. No.
You don't like the blisters?
Oh, I don't mind blisters.
Those haven't existed in a while.
Yeah, I got calloused fingers and thumbs, especially the thumbs.
Don't know. It was I think it was last generation on PS3. I think Tekken 6, 5, whatever the fuck. That shit wrecked me.
Did it?
Yeah, I was just like, and within 1 hour, all of a sudden I had a blister.
Wow.
Yeah, but I wasn't playing fighting games that much at the time, so just getting back into it. Apparently that game just was really demanding on the fucking...
I know the first time I played Guilty Gear, that happened, just because that is a faster...
Guilty Gear also has done it to me.
Yeah, it's a bit faster pace. What else did I play? Forza Horizon 3, which so far I'm actually enjoying quite a bit. I'm not generally racing games, but because it's so just like drive around and do whatever you want, I don't know, I think it really benefits the game for sure.
Yeah.
It's also a beautiful game.
Really good looking game, and talked about this a little bit before already, but it's a good slight evolution of the arcade racer because of the leveling up skills and free roaming with actual things to find in the open world. It's not just like, go find someone to fucking race.
Right.
Go make it your own game. We're not going to tell you what to do.
Well, and I haven't had a chance to try the co-op yet, but I'd like to actually be able to do that because I guess it actually counts towards your solo progress as well. So.
Oh, neat.
No, I'm really excited that you have an Xbox One because I've had one for a while and it's just been sitting there collecting dust every once in a while. Every once in a while, I'll like play something on it real quick, real fucking quick. But all the games I have are primarily multiplayer games, and nobody I know has an Xbox One except for Josh, but he only uses it for fucking Hulu, apparently. He spent all that money for Hulu. So that's an endorsement, I guess. But yeah, so now finally I have somebody. I mean, Josh will probably play with us now, but
Yeah.
at least I'll be able to play Forza with you because I've been wanting to do that multiplayer. I mean, I stopped paying for Xbox Live because I was like, I'm not playing this online with anybody.
Right.
So
Yeah.
The only other thing I really have to talk about is the actual Xbox itself. Just kind of throw out my
Sure.
personal opinions of the system so far.
And you, for the record, have an Xbox One S, which is standard now.
Is the standard version, yeah. The console itself is a very attractive looking piece of hardware. I
Definitely.
love the way the actual box itself looks. I don't.
I was gonna say it's very square.
It's very square.
It is, but it's got
Very
a
like-
really, I don't know, really sleek design to it. I like it quite a bit. I also the huge fan on top, very smart.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny you just look at it, you're like, that's a fan. Half the console's a fan, which is welcome because,
Yeah.
you know, things are not going to fucking overheat.
Half my computer's a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So that thing's filled with them. The controller, on the other hand, I have mixed feelings about. I think the bottom half of the controller is super comfortable. The placement's obviously the same as the 360 controller. I mean, it's comfortable
Very
in that
similar,
regard. I think the top of the controller is a little narrow, though, which I don't like. I feel like I'm holding it like this almost.
Weird.
I'm
Maybe
exaggerating
you are holding
quite
like
a
that.
bit.
You should not hold it like that.
But, you know, the way it rests in my palms, I feel like my hands are crooked. I don't know, it's weird.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen a controller like that since they made GameCube.
Yeah, that was another one that had, like, really, like, this weird way to hold it.
Buttons in random places.
Yeah.
I also don't, like, and we've talked about this before, the joysticks are so loose, it's ridiculous.
Which
I
is
don't
insane
understand that.
because the 360's analogs are amazing.
Mhm.
It's one of the best controllers out there. And that one could be, but the analogs are like high set, super loose. You try and aim, and you're just like, I hope I hit something.
Yeah,
That was a headshot?
I haven't played a shooter on it yet, but I'm sure
God,
that'll
yeah.
take some adjustment.
Let's go, bitch.
I do think the PS4 has way better joysticks.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, the PS4 controller has become my favorite controller at this point.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Solid.
Solid
controller.
controller.
Biggest gripe though, holy shit, that operating system.
Yeah.
I hate it. I equated it to playing an old Japanese role-playing game. To do anything, you have to go through like 30 menus. I don't get it.
Are you sure you want to do this? 3 different
I'm
times.
surprised it doesn't ask me if I'm sure, man. I don't know. I don't know.
I equated it to
UI
fucking
sucks.
the Goblin King coming and taking my little brother and having to go through a bunch of random bullshit to try and find that kid.
Yeah.
Goddamn oubliette.
So, hopefully they do a
Magic.
firmware update and change that. So, or software.
Or at least give the option to customize it more.
What's the interesting thing too is the 360 went through like 5 different UI changes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the Xbox One, I don't know if it's because it hasn't been being used as much, and there's like, no one's complaining about it. No one's doing that because no one has it.
That, and I think all the people who got too frustrated are sitting in a corner going, I just want to get to YouTube.
I just want to put in the code for the games they gave me in the box. I just want to play the games I own.
I just want to connect to the internet.
So yeah, I mean that's my list really. I haven't really been playing anything else.
Frank.
Well, I've not ventured out of my comfort zone for the most part. I've played Destiny. I just started playing Final Fantasy 15.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's been Warframe and
Hell yeah.
Battlefield.
What are you thinking of Final Fantasy 15 so far?
I enjoy it for the most part. There's a lot to do, but at the same time, it's a lot to do.
Mm.
And as my understanding is, the further you get into it, the less you can do. So I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not exactly.
I've heard that
far in.
quite a bit, so I guess indulge in the open world earlier in the game, because apparently it's supposed to become kind of linear.
I've been indulging like crazy because I'm in chapter 6 or 7, and I have like 40 hours in the game now.
Jesus.
So, yeah,
I assume the linearity, though, comes from probably harnessing the storyline.
that's exactly why they're doing it. They do it. Plus, obviously, they didn't want to spend another 10 years making the game. So
Yeah.
You know, nah, fuck it. Just take the extra 10 years. And
It's
just
reverse
make it
Final
better.
Fantasy 13. Linear at the first and 13, and open world at the end. So now it's open world at the end and linear.
yeah, I mean
That's how
that's
they fool you.
really the only nitpick I've really heard about the game though, and I'm not at that part, so I can't comment on it.
We just finished the tutorial for me. I didn't even finish it, you did. Sat there and watched.
Anything worth mentioning in your progression in Destiny or Warframe?
I hope that they come out with a new Warframe, because that's always wanted, some kind of more balance, something new to change up the standard. Oh, there's the same 3 other Warframes I've seen in the last 100 groups.
Frost.
Nova.
I was gonna say, that's because you already have all the characters and you have like nothing else to gain.
Not all of them.
He has
not all of them.
He has like 4.
That one has like all of them.
Oh my god.
I have all of them.
Yeah.
No, I'm missing 2.
You're in his
Yep, I got 2 left.
But as far as Destiny goes,
I'm so out of loop on that fucking game. So
Destiny.
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
you're talking
they
about
just-
Destiny, I need to talk.
they just came out with a major update, which is cool. They brought back Sparrow Racing, which is still pretty fun from what I've seen.
I know there
Finally
was.
got rid of the glitch at
racing.
the Iron Temple.
But my only gripe is that it's still, once you reach the end, cool, I have to wait another week to do the exact same thing I just did, try and get better gear of what I already have.
That's
Better
MMO
one.
endgame though. That's how it always is.
But give me something else to do in the game. Give me a crafting for once or something. You know, in that game, like you've had this game out for so long, it's done so well, it's got a big community, but
Secondary activities.
secondary activities,
But
and
they-
please get rid of the squeakers.
They did emphasize on secondary activities. The whole expansion was all about PvP.
Alright, yes, but that was still a major part of the game. PvP and PvE. Alright, cool. I don't want to go from the same 5 planets to harvest this 100, same materials that I can now go buy.
The only thing that upset me a lot was they introduced Saturn, but you don't actually go to fucking Saturn. You're in the ring. It's like, well, why did you add a planet, but we don't actually go there? Like,
Future expansion.
well, hurry
Well,
up.
maybe. With that game, I don't know what the fuck they're actually gonna add.
And then on top of that, they got rid of a lot of the materials that you already gathered in the first, 1, 2, 3 DLCs. Now they're void. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing to do. They're just sitting in my inventory. I can't even
Weird.
level up all
Like,
the other
what
guns.
am I supposed to
That's
do with
bad.
that? You made me sit there and grind that shit for hours, and now it
Around that shit.
And now it's
it looks nice, but goodbye.
So let's brainstorm though, because I think you're onto something, right? How do we get rid of the squeakers?
Well, there's this brilliant little button called mute, and then there's another one called block.
I think
So-
what they should do is, instead of throwing the entire community together,
Oh, he's gonna go with segregation.
Yep.
exactly.
Doesn't work.
You start when you enter the
Age
game.
limit.
You enter your age, your birthday.
Well, I can do whatever
All
age
the
I want
squeakers
to.
get put to the same kind of servers.
It's like,
But
be
this
shitty together.
this kind of thing is implemented in it for years. They always have like age. Oh, enter your real age. Be honest about it now. Is anybody ever honest about it?
No,
Fuck
because
no.
I don't want to have to deal with the parental passwords.
Exactly.
From their mom coming in. Oh,
What
we're
about
gonna
a,
set the password.
What about a thing that monitors pitch levels?
That would be great
Doesn't
too.
And
work.
as soon as it hits a high pitch, then they
Turn it
can
off.
make it really, really fucking detailed.
What? My
All of a
voice
sudden
is
mutes
too
them
loud.
instantly.
But I'm damn near 30.
It'll be an algorithm too of what they're saying at what pitch, how frequently.
That's gonna be a complex algorithm.
AI is coming.
Not my job.
Singularity's coming. The future's coming.
God.
And Bungie's at the forefront.
Oh,
Yeah, so she's like, I fucked your mom. Fucking gone.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
that would require a lot of dedicated servers to maintaining that and hardware to analyzing.
All right. Well, what
speech
if
patterns.
this?
Creating
Then
jobs.
you do the segregation, but you have a player report. Okay, he's too squeaky, and you get enough of them tallied
Player
up.
report, he's too squeaky.
But
I
then
know-
people abuse that.
I know, but
There's no way to segregate people from age brackets in gaming.
I have a question for you. You've played Destiny quite a bit, I imagine.
not nearly as much as my wife.
Okay. But at the point where do you need the sound effects still?
No, I shut off the music. The sound effects I do keep because I can hear, the gunshots, the walking, somebody throwing a fucking
Yeah, but there's
grenade.
hit indicators if you've played it enough.
Sure,
But again,
but
I always have a radar on.
but
so
when you're trying to do stuff like trials, which is 3v3, you get 1 life. You die, you can get revived, but You know, you do that and you do looking for group, you join a party. Oh, great. Now I gotta do, oh, I just teabagged this motherfucker. Fuck your mama. Dude, what the fuck
This
is
is why
wrong
my
with you?
algorithm doesn't make sense, because that was pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
He'd get muted right there.
Like, how did you
Exactly.
even afford
You
this
fucking-
game? Who is giving you $50 in allowance?
Grandma.
Yeah, no. See, if I
Parents.
have
Always
somebody
grandma.
teabagging,
Always
I'm
grandma's
like,
fault.
nope, report that little kid right there. Do you even know what you're doing? No, you don't.
It's a difficult process to navigate because like that's the whole reason like in Warframe you can't report anybody for anything because people abuse the system and they start banning people just because they don't like them or they think they're stupid or they don't think they contributed to anything, and then they have to go through the whole process of investigating and blocking accounts and banning accounts. They just don't do it, and you just deal with it and you learn to ignore it or you learn to flame them in chat.
I love my brainstorming joke. Fucking, we got some real
Took
good
off.
real good ideas.
Start a PlayStation party with no one in it, and it'll mute the in-game voice chat.
Yep.
But now I can't talk to his team
That's
of
okay.
squeakers.
Right?
It's
He's
a
played it enough
double-edged
times, he doesn't
sword.
need to-
It's
You
a
need
definite
the team,
double-edged.
but you don't need to hear him.
If he's
Need to
playing
hear
with a
you.
pug, he doesn't need the team that bad.
Yeah.
See, the only thing I don't like about the party chat is the other team members can't hear you. So if I'm yelling, which actually
wanna
happens
talk to
more
randoms
often
that
than
bad?
not, I'm yelling at somebody on my team, and I'm like, dude, behind you! And one of my buddies goes, you're in a party chat, they can't hear you. And I'm like, fuck!
Yeah, I just don't interact with people when I play online with them usually. I just
Same.
do what I'm going to do, and if it works, it works. If it
I get
doesn't,
to
I'm
know
out.
people within 5 minutes. I know where they live, where their parents are, what they ate earlier.
Just remember
What's your
that.
social security number? No, I swear I'm not copying it down.
Just
And
remember
then-
that, viewers. Set the stalking you.
And within 10 minutes, I got them telling me they're going to send me home in a body bag. I'm already home, but they're going to do this anyway.
My buddy got banned for 2.5 weeks because somebody was broadcasting that. Somebody listening and watching the broadcast reported him to Bungie
Damn.
for saying, send me your address, dude. I'm not afraid to come over there and kick your ass, pretty much, is, you know, the nice way of putting whatever he said. And yeah, sure as shit, he got an email. Blocked for 2.5 weeks.
That's crazy.
From Destiny. And it was only Bungie. Like, he was fine with every other PlayStation game.
Big Brother's watching.
It's like, dude, okay, I get my comment, but somebody's offended. Shit.
You'll get easily offended nowadays.
I like color green. Oh fuck, I'm offended.
I hate green.
I love black.
Damn, you wore the wrong shirt.
I love green. All right, Chris, what have you been playing?
Not a lot, really. A lot of Warframe.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Warframe.
Anything worth mentioning?
I did the seasonal stuff, which was all PvP. I'll give them credit, though, that you didn't have to win the PvP matches to get credit for doing them. You could just participate in them
That's
and
nice.
gave it
That's
to
good.
you. But it was just like cosmetic stuff, which is, no big deal. Other than, I think it was nice they gave it a cosmetic skin this year for a gun, which is usually a plat item, so it's nice. But
Is it already available, or is this specific to this event?
I'm not
the
sure.
skin?
I'm not sure.
I think it's limited.
It might be limited.
Because if it is, that's kind of worth grabbing. If it's something you can get
it's
with
gone
pot or
already.
whatever. It's gone already?
Yeah,
No.
the event was the 3-day
What the fuck
thing.
was that? It took like a 4-day break.
It was a 3-day event.
3-day event.
And every day the item changed. So you got a sigil for the first day, a sigil for the second day,
Mm-hmm.
and then the skin for a gun the next.
Oh well, I got one of the sigils, the Christmas tree.
Yeah, the Christmas
Yeah.
tree. First one was a
Cool,
Christmas
long game on
tree.
Monday.
Second one
We should
was
call
like
one of those.
Yeah.
Holly Berry style, and then
Did you say Halle Berry?
yes, it was Halle Berry in her Catwoman suit.
Introducing our
Oh,
guest
right.
speaker.
It's a skin for Valkyrie. But other than that,
Electra.
I've been dabbling just a little bit in Final Fantasy, other than trying to update it every day now. Which
That's
is
the dabbling.
God.
Is watching that download
Yeah.
go for 24 hours.
pretty much,
So
pretty
this is
much.
a good game.
Not actually opening the game, just kind of looking at it, being like, "Hey, baby, I see you."
Honey, it went up 1%. Get the cameras.
It's exciting. Let's stream this.
Screenshot
It's
that.
a terrible internet at your guys' house.
Oh my god.
Dude, it was bad here.
Well, not to mention we have
I just updated
3,
the game in
4,
like
5 people using
10
the
minutes.
Yeah,
internet.
but don't you have the disc?
Step up your game, Comcast.
The update that came out.
Oh, I don't know.
It's like 3 gigs. It's big.
Same diff.
I downloaded 100 gigs of Halo 5 when I installed it on my Xbox, and that
Surprisingly, the Xbox downloads faster than the PS4, though.
yeah. But they've always had a fast network. Though,
Better servers,
Yeah.
I mean, you are talking about Microsoft.
Making a console with no games. You're right.
You're right. Yep. No games.
All the features, no games.
And of course, The Witcher 3.
Yep.
And I Let It Die. Is that the name of that game?
Yeah.
I played that
Also
for a
played.
little bit. It was.
Hence the little bit, probably not that great.
I played until I died, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
It's pretty much what happened to me.
I die.
Yeah, I let it die.
I let it die, and when I came back, there was just like me naked, like waiting for me, and I had to fight me, and I was like, I'm done with this.
I beat Cody's ass.
Well, that's not hard to do.
I
You
feel
had a,
like you're looking at him.
you had a fucking iron. You just like. I was like, fuck, bitch.
Reminds me of Rust. You got you work your way up. You got all these items. You die. You're back to being a naked guy with a
No,
rock.
you don't get to
Oh,
keep
reminds
the
me of
items because the
another game.
items all have a
Dark Souls.
durability, and once the items break, they're gone.
Same with Rust.
That is the worst thing about that game, though, is both games. Is the durability is like gone.
Yeah, it's like
You
super
fight like
quick.
2 dudes and your weapon's gone. It's like,
Yeah.
I'd rather just not use weapons at this point.
Just drop
So-
a weapon every time I kill an enemy. That'd be helpful.
Yeah, it's just too much
I
cycling.
challenge you to
It's too-
It is.
fisticuffs.
That's all.
Good
I was
on you,
Can I have
sir.
a Khajiit in that game? Just claws?
No.
Yeah, and a problem I have too is like the run button in that. If you hit it, I think it's the same button as talking to people, very much like Final Fantasy 15. You'll drop kick while running,
Yes.
which drives me nuts. And then
Yes.
it takes him like 20 minutes to decide to get up. So he's just like laying there for a little bit. And he slowly gets up, and then he talks to the guy. I'm like, wasting so much time.
And
'cause-
I've yet to get another since the tutorial, like those brutal attacks where you just like maim people.
Yeah.
I've only gotten it since in the tutorial. That's it.
that's right.
Never been able to get it again.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody watching this will be able to.
Oh, you guys are scrubs.
Yeah.
You'll get it. It comes all the time, man.
Some guys just like, you guys are just noobs. I do this. Well, I'm doing it right now.
I don't let it die. Never. Sorry.
Not once.
Not once, not ever. Yeah, Witcher 3 we'll talk about in a sec. Is there something else you said? You said a lot, but was there...
Just Warframe, Witcher 3, and
Final Fantasy.
Die, and a little bit of Final Fantasy.
That sweet download.
Yeah.
Okay. I have played Invisible Ink stories. Invisible Ink so far. We'll talk about more next Friday for Plus Club. It's pretty cool. It's XCOM only with stealth. It's pretty cool. I like the animations. Stories. So I say I played it. I started the game. Started watching something on YouTube. I don't know what the fuck it was. Looked over at the TV, walked forward, swung my sword, looked back over here, and just put my controller down. So I don't really play it. I looked at it.
Best game review ever.
I looked at it. I'd give it a
Most
10 out of 10 on
accurate
being able to be
review
seen.
ever.
Also have played Warframe. Nothing new. I'm just leveling fucking everything constantly. Dead Rising 4.
Oh.
Really fucking enjoying the game. It's a lot better than I thought it'd be. Bought it on a whim 'cause it looked kind of cool. Got burnt out from 2 and 3. And it's a good return to form. Plays really well. A lot of streamlining. You don't have to go to workbenches anymore to craft items. You can do it anywhere.
Nice.
There's an exosuit that you can upgrade. I put like slushies on my back. Was able to shoot fucking ice tornadoes. So that's cool. And the storyline is interesting because it's campy, but it's also done well, like in the voice acting stuff like that, which is a big surprise because it's a Japanese game. It's Capcom. The first Dead Rising, Frank West is fucking, I've covered Warzone, you know, and like it's like, okay, who gives a shit? So in this, they did a good job. The humor is there. It's good. And yeah, my only gripe is it doesn't have co-op, which is a huge bummer because I want to play this with people. There's plenty of fucking room playing zombies for multiple people to be killing. But they did add a multiplayer mode that is very much in the vein of like Left 4 Dead, where you start here, you got to get there. You have like 2 days to complete the mission, and you have to essentially help each other and survive. I tried it out a little bit. I dabbled, and some like level 30 guy just killed everything. And then I started dying for some reason. So I don't know what the fuck was going on there. I'll have to try it again.
You're not participating, you lose health.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just as soon as I got there, it's like you're being punished, and my fucking health started going down. I'm like, what did I do? I just got here.
You lazy fuck.
Another game I've been playing this week. I played it yesterday. A game called Astroneers or Astroneer. It is out on Steam and on Xbox One in early access. One thing about the Xbox kind of neat is they do early access. It is your typical survival game in space, but the thing that's cool about it is you go from procedurally generated planets. Every game is doing that now. But the thing that's cool about it is it's kind of quirky looking. It's got really good animations, and wherever you land is your central hub. And from there, you're connected by a cord that keeps oxygen in your suit. If you leave it for too long, your oxygen starts going down. So you have to come back and refill it. But you go out and get resources, and then you start extending your base out, and it starts growing almost like just cords everywhere and shit like that. And whenever you're near that stuff, you can get your oxygen back. You start building like hubs to make vehicles, research stuff. There's like a 3D printer type thing you can make items with. It's pretty neat. Want to play with somebody? Chevy. It's on Xbox One. Should have got it on PC.
Hint.
Yeah, it's really cool. Definitely check it out. Although it is a little worrying that when you start this game, I'm not new to early access in any fucking way, or even betas or anything like that. When they're like, this isn't complete, there might be issues. I'm the one that purchased it. I'm the one who decided to be a part of this. I get that completely. But there's a part in the text that's like, this is incomplete. By buying this, you are agreeing that this game may never have like new features at all. This may be it. And I was like,
that's a little off-putting.
That's a weird way to put that, man.
Was that the game that said that, or was it the Xbox
The game
that said that?
when it was loading. Oh no! I think it was in the store.
Xbox is like.
So maybe
that's Microsoft covering.
Maybe it is
butt.
Microsoft.
Buy this.
But I read
they
that
don't issue refunds.
When I read that, I was like, "But the team said they're working hard on this game and they want to like build it up." And then they're like, "This game may never have any updates ever. So you better like it."
Another one.
That's Microsoft covering their butt.
You better like it as it is right now. Which is fair. It's pretty cool. And then Arizona Sunshine, which is a game for VR, specifically Vive, where you are a survivor during a zombie apocalypse. You have to leave your cave because I think you're out of resources, and you essentially are traveling from fucking said cave to wherever the hell you're going. I don't know. I was barely paying attention because I was too busy shooting zombies in the face. But it's really cool because a lot of games on VR, if you're familiar with that, like VR games, they're typically kind of like more like defense games and these kind of like experiences, whatever, that are kind of fun and cool. They're awesome. But this actually is like a campaign with like dialogue. As you continue through, there's things that like, say look, and when you look at it, a thing starts filling up, and once it fills up, if you look at it long enough, there's dialogue. It starts talking about whatever you looked at. You're walking down like roads full of like zombies and cars that you're like actually looking through the windows and opening car doors and trunks, looking for stuff like clips. You find grenades and shit. And there's a lot of really, really cool varied scenarios that happen. Like I had to go find the keys in this house to open this car that was locked, and then the alarm goes off, so a bunch of fucking zombies show up. But it's really cool, and the coolest thing for me about it is wherever you shoot zombies, there's impacts there. So if you shoot a zombie like in the face, their face caves in.
Nice.
If you shoot the top of their head, it blows off. You shoot them in the knee, their leg will rip in half, and they're also on the ground crawling. So it has a really good visceral feel of like if you want to feel what it's like to shoot zombies that are right in your fucking face. It's
horrifying. Are they like classic like Night of the Living Dead zombies?
They
just kind of
switch it up.
Okay.
There's a bunch of ones that like walk. Every once in a while you have ones that literally like, will vault over fucking cars, like running at you and shit. Chevy got to watch me just kind of like not know what I was doing. Zombie like ran up in my face or hit me. For some reason, I unloaded my guns and fucking didn't hit her somehow.
Missed completely.
I was like boom, 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 and I'm just like and she's like. I'm just like, I'm trying to get my fucking shit together. I'm like, I go shoot her, and then she killed me. I was like, oh, that's what it's like to die in this game. Super stressful. It's And in VR, it's so much different because there's like a zombie in your fucking face.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just like,
There's one phrase that comes to mind when hearing about this game. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Pretty much. I mean, there was a part where I was on the top of the stairs, and there was a bunch of zombies fucking cruising in, and I'm not a good shot with my left hand, I found out. And so I had 2 pistols, and I'm just like this. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, headshot, 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 headshot. I'm just like, boom, 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 boom. And then when zombies like get in my face, I'm just like,
And he pulls like
unloading.
the old like Wild West thing. He's like,
yeah, like I reloaded them and just pulled my guns up and just shot up into their chest and just like whipping up. And I was like, fuck!
unloading,
I was
2
reloading and
clips,
shooting.
yeah.
While I still have like a revolver and another pistol down here. I'm just fucking. It's it's really fun. If you have a Vive or anything that can run this game, definitely check it out. Yeah, that's what I've been playing. That's about everything.
Sweet.
So let's move into our game of the month, which we have to roll a new game of the month. But if you don't know, Witcher 3 was our game of the month. I actually slacked off a little bit on this, but I did play a little bit for reasons I'll explain in a sec. But let's find out what our game of the month for January is.
Oh yeah, I'm not even ready yet. Forgot we were doing this.
Drum roll. It's too
You
long.
guys suck at drums.
Yeah, no, that was pretty bad.
Pretty bad, yeah.
I'm embarrassed for all of us. Me specifically.
25, yeah.
I let it die.
Please drink bleach.
Okay, so as long as it doesn't roll 21, we're good.
Huh.
Pick a random number between 1 and 25.
Pick 25.
Tween.
Let me check that.
No.
Okay.
I found an article.
Pick
but-
a random number between 1 and 25.
Notice the inflection. He's annoyed with
It's
you.
4.
It's 4.
4.
Killing Floor 2.
Dope. So our game of the month for January will be Killing Floor 2. Right? Wasn't the first one. That'd be weird if that was on the list. Make sure if you have that or if you've played it to come back. All next month we'll be playing it, talking about it. This is a personal favorite of mine. I love this game. It's probably one of the best feeling FPSs I've played in a while. It's not necessarily deep.
I
but
bought
the-
it and barely played it. So.
But the combat's really fun. It's really fun to shoot shit.
This is on PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It's on PS4.
Oh, you have a lot of progress on PC, though. Well, he I don't think he has them either, anyways.
Yeah.
So.
It's dope, though. It's essentially a
Arena shooter.
Left 4 Dead defense type game.
Creepy clowns with knives chasing you. I've seen it.
Maybe in the original one, but this one doesn't have any clowns.
Yeah.
Mm.
But it's dope. But yeah, Witcher 3. We played it this month, hopefully. Have you played it at all?
That's a big negative, Ghost Rider.
All right. Do you have any reasons you haven't played it? Not really into it? Just never got to it?
Never got to it.
No. Do you have interest in playing it?
Sure. Alright.
No.
I'll say if you're even remotely into Elder Scrolls or like Fallout,
Mm-hmm.
Witcher 3 is better.
Mm-hmm.
I will be stopping at Walmart tonight.
I was gonna say, if you said
I have it.
Skyrim, I would have to fight you on that, but you said Elder Scrolls.
Which
so
Skyrim's the 5th Elder Scrolls.
I know.
Oh.
But when I hear Elder Scrolls, I think
Oh, snap.
not Skyrim.
Oh, see, online
So.
completely leaves my mind for that series.
Cool.
I didn't like online.
Me either.
Yeah, me neither.
Bull crap. It's too much for
That's
what
okay.
But
Yeah. So
I would say I'm the newest initiate to it.
Sure.
So, playing blind.
You played more than I have.
Oh.
Am I winning?
But yeah, go ahead.
I really, really enjoyed it a lot. I did all of the side quests because I'm a side questor.
wait, did you beat it?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I've done like the first like 2 chapters.
Oh, cool.
So I've done all the side quests in those.
It's like, holy shit, you beat that quick.
I mean,
I wouldn't be
I'm
surprised.
the
It's
first
just
one to
like,
beat Dark Souls 3 in the group. So
yeah. I played them all.
You know why you beat
Sensibly.
me on that one.
I was gonna say, are you glaring at him?
but
He knows why.
I had a lot of fun playing it. It's just like you guys said, it's like Fallout 4 or Fallout or Skyrim, but better.
Oh,
Yeah.
I really like just how smooth you can weave in and out of like melee combat and casting magic. Just like in and out. That's really nice. It's really like it's not like it's super simple, but it's just really intuitive.
Yeah, it's nice too when you're selecting a spell. It slows everything down, so it has almost an RPG feel to that.
Yeah,
it is an RPG, but like more classical.
I tried to make my character kind of like a Jedi, so I did a lot of like the force push and the mind control stuff, which made combat really fun and interesting. Just dazing people in the middle of combat and then just slicing the fuck out of them. Basically.
That's what that is. Over here, there's like a light that keeps moving. It's when he moves, it's like reflecting. Sorry. There's a couple times in this video, probably earlier, you saw me just like do this. And it's like, is there a fucking ghost in here?
No, it's okay. He's just tweaking.
You want to be in on the fucking Tasty Cast? Like, sit down, dude.
I did have a problem with the horse AI, though. Trying to get it to run through like certain areas. Yeah, Roach. What a dumb name for a horse.
I agree.
But
especially with Geralt's voice, Roach.
Like, come on, Roach. But yeah, I mean, like running through like villages, I get it. Like, you have to be slower, but like even then, like sometimes the A of the horse would be like, yeah. And I'm like, no, you're on the trail. Why are you veering?
It's interesting because there is issues with it sometimes. But one thing I did like about it though is you can just like let it run and it'll follow the path. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of nice. It's almost like an
autopilot.
Yeah, thank you. that's the word. But yeah, every once in a while, like I'll just be like riding down a fucking trail, and I assume it's just gonna keep going down the same trail, and there's a right, and it's just like, I'm like, why are we going that way? Wouldn't you just keep going straight?
No,
apparently there's a shortcut you didn't know about.
Apparently Roach is like, this is the good way. I'm like, all right.
Don't worry, man. I got.
He's like, I'm like 90% sure there's a wolf in that path, and I don't know what about.
It's not like I'm a witch or anything. I don't know anything. So fucking, let's go your way.
It kind of reminds me of Skyrim. There's one quest that you have to follow somebody, and then they all just make this random right turn into a field, and then they backtrack to follow you again, and you're like, where were you going?
That just screams wow to me.
There's
There's an enemy that's ahead where I'm supposed to be going. Let me run up, help you kill it real quick, then run all the way back.
Escort quests. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of escort quests, in Witcher, they will match your pace. So whatever speed you're going, the fucking NPC goes the same speed.
It's really nice.
It's very nice. For some reason, every single game known to man, they're like somewhere between walk and run.
Yeah. Just a light, brisk, small walk.
So you have to go real slow and let them get ahead of you, or you can run past them and then stop and wait.
Yeah, it's weird how that always is. Like, they always move a little faster than your walk. And then you run and you're just like, ugh. And you're just like...
How does he do that?
How about we just go, dude?
Yeah.
How does he get so fast?
God damn it, Lydia! Get out of the fucking doorway!
He makes fast people look not fast.
But yeah, overall it was fun. Being a cosmetic whore, though, I was slightly disappointed.
There is some stuff.
There's some, but
where...
It's also very based off of, oh god, what part of the world again?
Poland.
Yeah. Old, like,
So
Polish,
medieval Polish
armors and stuff.
Armors, which are super detailed and look realistic. Like, they're not like fantasy, like it's just crazy metal and fucking Final Fantasy type stuff. Like they have like the weird striping in some spots, stuff like that, which I think is kind of neat.
You're gonna get a dislike for saying it's weird. Poland's gonna be like, what? It doesn't look weird. Thumbs down.
Probably. Fucking, don't say anything about Argentina. They fucking hate us. The whole country based off one dislike.
Why don't you like me?
I like Argentina. I've never been there. I don't know anything about it, but...
No, everybody's making diplomatic decisions because of Twitter. Okay? No. That's stupid.
Hold on, let me tweet that real quick.
Disagree!
But yeah, I mean, the varied enemies and what they're weak to and stuff like that is really fun. And like, I remember we were talking about before, like, Geralt is just, he knows everything. And he's just not like a noob about it. He's like, oh, this is what I've got to do. And it's just really nice to know what I need to fucking do.
It's what's interesting about that too is in every game you're always that guy learning everything, and in The Witcher you're not. You're just people are coming up to you for help, and you're like, oh, okay, well this is how I have to handle that.
What's the thing is like the hero's journey in most games is always like the chosen one path.
Yeah.
Where like you're just now like there's power inside you and you're gonna fucking grow and get better, or whatever. It's like almost every
And I'm
fucking
like,
game
"Well,
ever.
You're wanting to be a Sith.
Exactly. And Geralt's a Sith. He goes around and just fucks whoever he wants, kills whatever he
Does
wants,
what he wants, as long
knows
as there's money,
everything.
man.
He
And can still
makes
be
money.
the good guy.
Yeah, exactly. Somehow
money-
he makes it work.
The money thing's interesting too because one of the side quests I ran into, there was a guy just off the side of the road, and his cart had gotten ambushed or whatever, and he ran away.
Mm.
And he's like, "Can you please? I just care about this little box." And you're like, "Yeah, but I'm gonna need you to pay me. Witchers don't do anything for free."
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just blatantly tells the guy, he's like, "I'll help you, but
What?
you gotta pay me."
That's the great thing too about it being from like a book series from Poland, because the fantasy is so different than what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
And like, not to say like Polish fantasy must be all like this, but like there's definitely something different about it, where you have a main character who is not like the super good guy type dude. Like, and there's such like weird underlying things there. Like people will treat Geralt almost like how people in Europe treat like gypsies.
Yeah.
He like shows up and people are like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like get the fuck out of here. We don't like witchers."
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, "Yeah, I know you don't like me. Fuck you." Like,
Right.
he's like, "I'm here to make money," and they're like, "Yeah, we know. Fuck you." And just like this whole weird exchange of just two people who just like are not going to meet eye to eye in any way.
One else things, and I've only played like, I haven't even finished the first chapter. I spent a lot of time just kind of like wandering around. I think it's interesting that you get these two countries that are at war with each other, and you just like freely talk to both, and they're just like, "Oh, a Witcher," like no one cares. Like you're not on the other side.
They know you don't have an allegiance.
Yeah, you're just a guy trying to make money.
Yeah.
Something
Since working magic.
things I want to like just kind of
I
like
also want a horse
bring up
son.
as like
It's fucked up.
really kind of blow me away with this game. Character models, even like characters that aren't like good looking, is not that they're like graphically aren't good looking. They just like they look dopey, as people. But like detail wise, every character I run into, NPC, blah blah blah. The amount of detail that's into the character work is ridiculous. The foliage and the way like the entire like map is designed as well is super detailed. I never feel like I'm running into copy paste except for like like plants and stuff that you collect from, but that's to be expected.
But even like trails look like they're trails from people and horses walking.
Yeah.
Like they're thin, there's grass like right on them and stuff like that, and you're surrounded by like dense trees. So like the atmosphere in the game is like
More realistic.
really,
Yeah.
it's really realistic. It looks good.
Voice acting across the board, I don't think I've heard a bad voice actor yet.
Yeah. It's funny because some people, including myself when I first started playing the earlier Witchers, I thought Geralt was like flat. I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this guy sounds like shit." Then you realize Witchers are essentially made to not really show or
They're
have
emotionless.
emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why he's flat. It's not that the voice actor sucked. That's his character. So
Yeah.
that's something I had to learn myself.
Kind of
But
like monotoned.
pretty much, he doesn't get louder, doesn't get lower. He's just like blah 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 blah.
Thanks for telling me the information that my dad has died.
Thank you.
I would be sad if I could be. I'm sure.
And
But
this is where my trophy would go if I had one.
It's funny though for how like flat they are though. They're not. It's not like they don't care about anything though, because obviously like right in the beginning you're looking for Yennefer. Like,
Yeah, you just can't like really express it, but in the context of what he's saying, you get, which is on its own great writing and good inflection of the way he's saying things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of detail as well, side quests in this game are like second to none in RPGs.
Oh my god, they're amazing.
There's like every single side quest feels like its own fucking storyline of like a game that could be its own thing.
oh yeah.
I love it.
I never feel like it's sort of like, oh, there's a fucking pack of wolves over there that killed my children. Go get them. There's 20 of them.
Well, it's like
One
of the side quests I did, which was
that's kind of a crazy scenario.
essentially the entire point of the quest was to go inside this house and find this lady's pan.
Yeah.
But she tells you this whole story about why you're after the pan, and by the end of that, I was like, oh, I kind of care about this whole situation. I mean, it's weird. You had some creepy guy come up to your window, he's staring in your house, she tells you this weird conversation. It's essentially like she ended up walking into like some crazy homeless person. Is the type of conversation they had. So And then you go in the house, and of course he's Geralt, so he's like, "Oh well, I know what happened."
Mm-hmm.
Instantly, as soon as you walk in.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. And you bring the pan out. That's not my pan. You're like, well, it is. He used the soot to make ink. You know, type of. I don't know.
And I like there's the little details of like the things you pick up, like in that quest you find a monocle.
Yep.
And apparently it references someone later on in the game that you come across, and it links back to that. And you can even like the very beginning cinematic with Yennefer, and she's getting through the battles. She's got that crow that just obliterates people.
Yeah.
And then dies and turns into this crystal skull. It's actually an item you can pick up
Spoiler
and bring
alert.
back to her. It's the very beginning of the game.
It's all in the beginning of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the very beginning of the game.
Spoiler alert for the beginning of the game.
Well, not to mention the fact that we're talking about the game.
That's
for the
side
show.
quest. It's whatever.
We're
But
just gonna shit all over this.
the thing that's cool with side quests though too is not only are they just really well done and really interesting, but also makes it feel like this isn't your cut and paste like I lost something in that cave back there. Can you go get it for me? Like there's a whole story to it. You
Always.
feel like that actually happened for a reason, and there's a reason why you're going to get it, and there's no like I'll give you a pretty penny if you do it. It's just like, you know, I don't have much, but I could give you something, and you could be like, fuck you, I don't work for free, or like, it just feels lived in. It feels like an alive world where everyone's individual lives are happening, regardless if you're there or not, and the quests feel like, you know, these are events that unfolded.
Well,
taking part in.
and living, I think, is a really good way to put that, because, like, you know, helping the guy, for example, who was looking, you know, the box that was missing. As soon as you bring up money, his facial expression just kind of goes.
Shit.
It's like, yeah, no, I need the box. Like, you could tell he's like, kind of like, oh, wait a minute, like, do I really want him to help me, or do I want to wait for
Can I
someone
even
to do it for
afford this?
free?
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, the old lady, like, you just kind of do it. You don't ask for money, and then she's like, oh, no, I have to give you something, type of thing, you know. So I don't know. The characters feel very alive. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
So
Plus horse combat's pretty cool.
I haven't tried it yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you?
Every
Okay.
every fucking game that there's like a transportation option, I just.
What's the thing is, like, a lot of games you just get on something and you go a little faster, which is great because I'm impatient as fuck. So that's exciting for me. I'm like, I don't have to waste time.
I'm the guy who walks.
But because in this game you
1
can,
hour later.
That's me.
because you can actually like fight on your horse. You don't feel like so much like you're just kind of like going at it. Like a pack of wolves will come out of the fucking trees. There'll be like 12 of them, and they're definitely a threat. Like they'll definitely kill you if you're just like trying to run away.
Yeah.
Shit, you just killed my horse. There's 1,000 gold.
Well, and the thing too that's kind of neat is like Roach has like a fear meter, and like the more overwhelmed he gets, starts freaking out, and you can use your powers to like chill him the fuck out.
Yep.
You have to use your magic to do that, or you just get off and fight, or you can keep fucking cruising and try and kill the things off. Like there's a lot of dimensions to something I didn't even really think they put that much work into.
So a couple different variables.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and then there's equipment for the horse too. You can get blinders, which will make their fear
Exactly.
slower. You
Right.
can get saddlebags for more inventory space, stuff like that. So
So it's realistic
it's a
in that way.
yeah, it's a very detailed game. It's
Really deep game
yeah.
to it, aside from customization. Even though his beard grows and you can
I hate that.
trim it and cut it.
I just trim it
get it
every
fucking
time.
cut off.
I have to go back and get it cut off again and again.
Just like real life.
No. Magic LASIK that shit off.
Wow.
Yeah, they use what's the fire spell?
Igni.
Igni.
Right?
Yeah, just
Just
That would be pretty cool.
does anyone else smell burnt hair? Yeah.
All I know is even just a little bit I've played of this game. If the detail is the same in Cyberpunk, holy shit.
Oh, they've been working on that for a while too. That's the thing is each Witcher has gotten better and better and better, and the jump between 1 to 2 was significant, graphically especially.
Yeah,
but 2 to 3 just changed the game in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cyberpunk isn't going to be The Witcher, but everything that was in that game will absolutely translate over. It has to, and all the new things we're hearing about, like they're working on like vehicles and shit, like in a cyberpunk setting, driving and flying vehicles and shit like that. Like the world's got to be big enough for that. So that is telling of the scale of this game. Plus, you're gonna be able to make your own character, which is dope. Like, I like Geralt; he's an awesome character. He fucks everyone. He's dope. But be able to make your own character and design them, hopefully super detailed, which I wouldn't assume it wouldn't be. It's super promising. It'd be cool to have your own character and your own story that you're going through.
Yeah.
Plus, I can't wait to see I assume the game's gonna be third person, probably, but a third person cyberpunk world fully fleshed out. There's not really a game like that.
So cool.
No, there's not. Especially with the concept teaser that they showed off, showing the the very here's the old building with a newer building built on top of it with a really new building on top of it. Like, I don't know,
And the support structures in each building and stuff like
it's
that.
so cool.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, it seems like everybody really enjoyed it, especially Frank. It's a really good game.
I played 1 and 2. That helps.
Did you? What'd you think of this?
I liked them. I definitely think that the company's a great company because they're not like all these other ones who are like, DLC? Yeah, we got that. How much money you got? They're like, DLC, take it.
You're 17.
Run.
You like those
Run,
and buy
bitch,
the
run.
expansions.
And you're
Which are
just like,
full-fledged expansions. Yeah, I remember I got to The Witcher a little late. It had been a couple of years since its popularity, and I went back, and I could appreciate a couple things about it, but I just couldn't play it. It was just so fucking weird. And then
Yeah, the controls are pretty rough in the first 2 games.
I started playing 2, and I liked it a lot, but I don't know, the combat was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing in this one that really kind of solidified it for me is the combat. Just a lot more enjoyable. It's just more straightforward. The animations are good. I like the way it does, like, you know, the parrying and moving around and stuff like that.
Well, this is lazy on my part, but I liked and hated in 2 where you come across an enemy and you're like, steel or silver. And in this game, he just grabs the correct sword as soon as he starts swinging.
Oh no, that's great.
I'm like,
That
thank you.
is the thing in the combat that kind of drew me nuts, and I'm sure purists love that
Yeah.
aspect of being like, oh, I like the lore of the Witcher. I like being able to pick what weapon or whatever. But like, Geralt knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
So if he sees an enemy that he's not gonna grab the wrong sword. Well, maybe I'll try this one.
Yeah.
Like, he's not that type of character.
Right.
And the health bars also indicate what weapon to use against them, because if they're weak against silver, they'll have the silver bar above their health bar to tell you that's what they're weak
I'm
against.
glad you were paying attention.
it makes fun of us.
So same topic, different game. With doing the tutorial on the Final Fantasy, I didn't realize that they had different weapons and that they have resistance to certain weapons in their
Alright.
magic. I was like, wait, what?
How many Final Fantasies
Oh
have you
my
played?
god. There's that customization, and I like that, but at the same time, I don't like it because then you actually have to, you know, either hit him a couple times or open up the menu and fucking figure it out real quick. It's like I'd rather hit him
You'll
twice. With
Get
each
further
weapons.
in the game. Is
I know,
all.
like I said,
Yeah.
I've only done the tutorial and like we
You didn't even
already
do it.
mentioned it. Yeah, you finished it for me, but that was like X. Watch this.
What even happens in the tutorial for that game?
You
I
fight,
forgot.
You learn the basics.
what's his
Gladio.
name?
Yeah,
Gladiolio.
fighting basics,
How to
magic
parry,
basics.
yeah.
how to warp.
I'll say even Noctis calls him Gladio, so.
Yeah.
What does he call him?
Gladio.
What is it?
Gladio.
How many L's?
6.
Gladio. Right? There's an S in there somewhere.
There's
though,
a
or is it-
Murloc.
Or is
I
it,
know. I was just about to
Gladiolus.
say that.
is it maybe French? Gladio.
Flower.
There it is again.
The Gladiola is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
Quick.
name's based on flower.
Quick, call the hunter. There's a Murloc in here.
God. I don't play well.
Neither do I. But I know what it is.
Scary.
All hail the great Merle.
Okay, so for the topic I want to get into for this taste cast, we're going to be talking about our most disappointing games of this year. Now, last week we did a loot chest on our games of the year. Make sure to go check that out. A lot of good ones. There's a lot of really good games this year. But there's also a couple that didn't really live up to the hype. Let's see. I have a list. You guys also have picked a couple games. Since I made you guys go first last time. I'm going to throw out a couple, should I say, honorable mentions of games that I didn't play, but the reception was so bad, that's kind of the reason I didn't fucking touch them. One of them is Mighty Number 9, the game that was made by the guy who did
Mega Man.
This game had a lot of hype building up, came out, and all I ever heard was it was just this soulless game that really had nothing to it. I didn't touch it. I'd like to check it out, but from what I've seen, it just doesn't look that fun. So that was kind of disappointing to hear. Any thoughts on that? Did anybody play it?
No.
How disappointing.
It's funny too because I was kind of looking forward to that because I love Mega Man, and when was the last time Mega Man came out? Well, wait, Capcom doesn't make anything anymore.
Capcom. The Rising 4 was good, but Capcom.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was bummed out when people, as soon as it came out, and people were like, "Ooh."
Yeah, like I didn't hear everyone go
Alright.
like it's pretty good, like just bad
Yeah,
across the board.
So that bums me out
Was anybody looking forward to that?
a little bit.
A little. I mean, I really like playing the Mega Man X games. Like, those were a lot of fun to me.
I'm
do.
a huge
X
fan
and
of
X4,
the X
man.
series.
Yeah. But
X3
that's
was
like
good, too.
really the last time we've had any real good Mega Man-esque games.
Lie. Mega Man Legends.
You and your Legends game.
Great game. There's a ton of people online who agree with me.
Lie.
There's a ton of people
I called them out.
in a
I'm gonna
very
start calling people out
specific
like that.
forum that agree with me.
In the Mega Man
Kisses
Legends
with all my
forum, we like that game.
All 4 of them.
In your defense, Mega Man Legends wasn't a bad game, but it's not a real Mega Man's-esque
No.
game where it's not like a
No,
side
it
scroller.
It wasn't
Sure.
a side
It
scroller
was a
shooter.
cool game,
Yeah.
but it definitely wasn't Mega Man.
What was the one that was on DS? That was like a turn-based role-playing game.
Mega
That
Man
was
The card
DX or
one.
some weird
Yeah.
shit.
yeah, where you had the little cartridges or whatever that you could
Yeah.
load
The
in
chips.
to send them.
Yeah.
I thought that series was fun, but once again, it's not Mega Man.
Right.
So.
Yeah. That's where Capcom started going like, well, what can we do with this? It's not Mega Man, and they stopped
Right.
fucking making it.
Fucking cock teased at PSX like, here's Mega Man, but it's for Marvel vs. Capcom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's so weird. It's kind of fucked up.
yeah.
Another one that I was disappointed to hear because I liked the first one. I was hoping that they would make this one and redeem themselves. Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Now, this is a game that I was really interested in.
Me too.
It seemed like they're going the route to really just kind of fix all the complaints that people had with it. And I haven't played it. I probably still will play it because I did like the first one. And a lot of people bitched about it because it had a 6-hour campaign, which is very short for a game that doesn't really have multiplayer.
Yeah.
It's a lot to ask of someone to spend $60 on 6 hours. It's $10 an hour.
Yeah.
I
Force Awakens.
I was gonna say, that's
Not
like
Force
as much
Awakens.
as I
Force
need.
Unleashed.
yeah, let's see. Force Awakens.
Force Unleashed. That's the
Unleashed
same
is-
problem.
Yeah.
But that was a little disappointing to hear all the negative stuff to it. I heard a couple of reviews though that were like, it's all right, but it's just definitely it's kind of empty feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, still check it out if it's on sale, I guess. And then another one was again in the same vein, Homefront: The Revolution. Now I'm not a huge fan of the first game because it was definitely just a copy of Call of Duty. But if they're gonna go out of their way and especially work on this game for how long they did, what came out from what I watched, it was a buggy fucking mess. It was incomplete, and I guess it was super boring. And I did watch a lot of video on this because it was on sale. I was like, oh, maybe I'll pick it up. It was on sale because nobody was buying it for a reason. It's trash, and it sucks to see somebody try and revitalize a series and just fail. It happens more often than it should, which is shitty. I'd ask you guys if you were interested in it, but I doubt anybody really gave a fuck. Okay, so my personal picks for disappointing games 2016. No Man's Sky. Obviously,
Yes.
we don't have to talk about that too much. If you don't know why,
Just watch
Why-
8 of the videos.
why are you even on this channel? You don't play video games and you don't talk to anyone who's ever seen one. Anyone want to talk about that a little bit? We've already talked
Nope.
about it ad nauseum.
Yeah.
Spores 2.0.
I'm not quite with you on that one, but yeah, it was. I wasn't as disappointed as most people, mostly just because I didn't have the same expectations I guess people had. Though I do
Me
agree
too.
with the bad, obviously, advertising of the game. I think the biggest factor was it was an indie game that was treated like a AAA game
Absolutely.
and priced like a AAA game.
Mm-hmm.
And it should have been probably a $30, $40 game, and should have been. This is an indie game, not a AAA game. Like so, I think it's the biggest problem with it.
It was really bad. Just the way, I mean, they did a great job with advertising, so got people more hyped than they should have been, I guess.
Great advertising,
But also is misleading, and I don't even give Hello Games that much credit for the misleading. They did a little bit in some of the interviews. It's obvious. You can see it on YouTube. But Sony really amping the advertising for this game up to the point where people were expecting a AAA game. And like you said, it's an indie game. Yeah. There's like 6 people that worked on this game.
Yeah.
And for what they did, I mean, like, can you really say it's like bad?
No.
For what they did? I mean, it's just way too fucking casual. It's a very casual game. And there is a lot of fucking just resource grinding, and not a lot. There's problems with the game, but I think there's also merit there. And they are working on it. We got an update that added a bunch of new stuff, so I'm gonna give it time. But as of its release in 2016, was disappointing. I also think it was disappointing how Hello Games handled the release and going silent. Now I get why they did it, because they're dedicated on working on that update and trying to fix the problem. At the same time, they alienated the people who had concerns with not saying anything to them. People were like, hey, your game is a fucking lie, and they're just like, it's not a good way to handle that.
No.
Sweep that under the rug real quick. Here's a
So
game.
let's talk up this 10-inch dick and then give you a 3-inch. Yeah. Sorry, woman reference.
No, that's great.
It's an interesting analogy.
Very fitting for this channel. Josh should be proud.
We miss you, Josh.
No, we don't.
See you 5 days a week.
I see you all the time.
Yeah.
You're a dickhead. Another one that is disappointing for me, and it kind of sucks, because I went into it, I bought it, I really enjoyed it, and then I kept playing it, and it was the same thing over and over and over again. Mafia 3. Mafia 2 is fantastic. It's a super underrated game. A great open world but linear, story driven game about the Mafia. Mafia 3 took a different route, and it's about ice cream trucks. It has nothing to do with the Mafia.
You like popsicles? I got a whole basement full of
That
popsicles.
was the whole game. Mafia 3, though, the storyline's really good, the characters really good, the world is fantastic because it takes place in New Orleans, which is somewhere that you don't really see in games too often. They did it really well. A couple graphical issues that I felt like I was experiencing the end of days, apocalypse shit. The sun was crazy looking. Anyway, also the world's in fast forward. For some reason, I was watching clouds just flying around. The fucking sun was going. I was like,
I was like Sims.
yeah, it was fucking. It was pretty crazy. Just driving my car, I'm just like, what's happening? But eventually,
8 a.m. and now it's like 3 p.m.
exactly in seconds, it was crazy.
The storm was like 3 minutes long.
I literally walked 10 feet.
No, yeah, like a storm cloud would go and it'd go, and then just go in. Like, damn.
Well, that's Olympia weather for
Yeah, I was saying that's Washington. I'm used to it. I'm like, wow, it's accurate. Well, wait, it's not in Washington. But the problem with it is, as you go into a turf and take it over and kill the guys by stealth and pistol, you do this again and again and again. And there's a bunch of weapons in the game, but you just don't use them because the pistol works fine, which I appreciate. A pistol that actually kills people in the game, and stealth mechanics are great, but they're so great, which sucks because I appreciate a game that's not a stealth game having great stealth mechanics. You don't find the other things viable, so you do the same thing over and over and over again as you're going through a storyline. That's entertaining, but the gameplay just didn't do anything for me after a while. It's just like, I don't want to keep doing this over and over and over again. So it went from a great game to becoming a disappointment. I mean, it's quite literally the definition of be disappointed. Any thoughts on any of those aside from No Man's Sky? We already talked about that.
So unfortunately, it's very repetitive gameplay. I see a lot of games though, like gameplay tends to get repetitive after a while, and you just lose interest in it.
Mm-hmm.
Not Skyrim.
Spice it up a little.
And then my last pick is one that I looked up a couple lists of disappointing games to see if there's any I missed, and this was not really on any of those lists, and it's surprising to me because I buy every Call of Duty every year, and this Call of Duty, I played the beta, and within the first match, very much like Battlefront, I realized this game is complete and utter fucking trash. It's awful. It's soulless. There's nothing to it. Takes a bunch of ideas from other Call of Duties, from other companies. Doesn't do them as well. The maps are neat looking, but the layouts aren't good. There's no cool choke points. There's no cool locations. The guns are all fucking Xbox Ones. They're all just boxes. Some of them, I had an SMG that literally at like 5 feet away couldn't hit the guy pointing directly at him. It was, for some reason, like to spray these directions. Maybe there's a trick to that gun.
V-spray.
Maybe you just turn your sensitivity up and just fucking spin real quick and shoot your sprinkler. I don't know.
Gotta spin to win.
Spin to win, yeah, fucking A. That's the same for Call of Duty. Yeah, it just sucked because I don't think Call of Duty is the greatest series ever, but I do enjoy them, and this game, it's horrible, shitty. And then if you look at reviews of it, people say the multiplayer's good. I don't agree at all. And people say the campaign's awful. So if I didn't like the multiplayer, I probably wouldn't have liked the campaign. So huge disappointment for me. Not that I was like super excited for Call of Duty, but I was expecting to buy it and play it. One less FPS for me to play though. I mean, I have Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 1. So.
Yep. That's unfortunate. It's actually one of the games I was interested for the first time, like FPS that looked neat and interesting to me.
Don't say it.
Mostly because it was bright colors. I was like, ooh, look at all the bright colors. But I mean,
Now we know how to shop for Chris.
Oh yeah.
It's shiny. I can see myself.
I can change my costume 50 times. Give me the game. But I mean, knowing you as like basically the FPS aficionado that I know in the group, other than maybe you, knowing that you think it sounds terrible, looks terrible, plays terrible, I'm not interested at all. That's sad.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this to anybody. Even if someone's like, Call of Duty fucking sucks, I'm like, well, Call of Duty doesn't suck, but the new one definitely does. You're right there. I won't argue with you. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
Yeah, right. You would, instead of saying anything, you just slip them a copy of Titanfall 2. You'd be like, here you go.
Here's the new Call of Duty. It's made by the original guys who made Call of Duty, the good ones. This is where Infinity Ward went, and this is their new Call of Duty. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I mean, it's pretty sad that they had to be like, well, we'll slip in another copy of our game if you buy it.
That's why people bought the fucking game.
Yeah.
I've
Unless
almost
you're turds,
bought
let
that
you
game. I've almost bought that game because of that, but I can't do it because I don't want to own that other game.
Yeah, you were like, ooh, 2 for this price and it's discounted? What's the catch?
It's kind of like the frickin' box at GameStop where you get, 5 games for $20. You're like, okay, what shitty games can I pick out of here that I don't have yet?
What achievements can I get from these?
I mean, yeah, that's
Well, I'm
not
not
a
one of
redeemable
those.
factor
Yeah.
of that. Thoughts at all?
No,
Did you have ambitions of playing this? I know you play FPSs, Frank.
Oh, no. I'm in the same boat. It's terrible. Just terrible.
Did you play the beta or yeah?
And I've got friends who have it, and even they don't play it anymore.
I remember on Reddit on the day of
God.
release. It was
Yeah.
really interesting. I think I've talked about it before, but I'm talking about it again.
Let's reiterate.
I do that a lot. It's so good, I gotta say it again. On Reddit, so on PC you could buy it on Steam, and for some reason Windows had the audacity, the fucking self-righteousness to be like, we're gonna fucking sell this on our Windows platform. And for some reason they thought they could fucking...
It wasn't that they were selling it on their platform. It was that they had their own servers.
Yeah, but you had to buy it from their... They have this like Game Hub thing now
Yeah.
for Windows.
But instead of connecting to PC servers, it connected only to their own
Well, that's what I'm
servers.
saying. They
Yeah.
had 2 different areas you buy this game, and for the people who don't know, these servers don't connect. They have their own servers.
Yeah.
So fucking, I remember on Reddit, this guy's like, so my little brother made the mistake of buying this on Windows, and it showed the server list, and there was 2 people in the whole entire online, and they couldn't even get into the same room together.
So you're saying he was the 3rd best in the world on Windows? Somebody endorse that man.
Fucking A, sign him up.
That ratio 0.7.
The depressing part of this, though, is as you read down the comments, the guy's like, oh, luckily he's able to get a refund. You're like, that poor guy, the other one in the server is just by himself now. He saw signs of life for a second. He's like, oh my god, there's someone here.
Someone's gonna play the game with
And all of a sudden, just like, one
Yeah,
person.
you got a touch of hope.
That's crazy.
Friend request. Come on.
Declined.
Do it.
Declined. Oh my god, there's -2 people on here now? What? How did...
There's somehow minus a person someone on there. It's, but yeah, that just added to the whole just shit of it releasing.
It's awful.
It's crazy. It's a really bad showing. Hopefully, Modern Warfare worked out for them because that's all they really had. Even though they put fucking microtransactions on that somehow. Chevy.
I don't have quite the list. I literally have just one item, which I did buy and then never played.
One game? That's it?
Yep. Battleborn.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's also on my list.
$60 for a game I don't play at all.
And I heard so many good things about that game.
The biggest problem Battleborn has, and we've said this a million times, it's not a bad game, but it doesn't excel at anything.
It doesn't know where it wants to be.
Yeah. It has such a lack of identity. It's trying to do a bunch of stuff. It's also trying to be Borderlands at the same time. I don't know. It also had the terrible marketing team. It was like, hey, let's release this in the same week as Overwatch.
Yeah.
And
That was a big mistake.
So, just bummed me out because we played the beta and I thought it was fun.
It was neat.
But then the game comes out and there wasn't a whole lot more past that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Some betas, they hype it up a little bit and you get a good beta or demo and then all of a sudden the game is shit because I played like the demo for Sun and Moon and I was like, oh, this looks interesting, and then the game came out and I was like, this is not what the fucking demo was. Okay.
I hear the game opens up quite a bit the further you get into it, but
Oh, yeah.
the intro's rough.
Most disappointing game 2016. Sun and Moon.
No, I think it's fun. It's just not as good as the last two games they've
I
made.
made it to the second island. I'm getting pretty far.
It's not too disappointed.
Believe me, I still play it, but he's passed out.
The last one I played was Ruby, and I was like,
The remake of Ruby or
no,
the
No,
the
the
original,
original.
and I was like,
Good.
I've
fuck
got
this
all
shit,
the
I'm out.
software, so-
Me too.
Yeah, I play all of them. So
Let's
But,
not even get into Pokemon on this.
Battleborn,
3
though,
hours.
it was so disappointing apparently that I completely forgot it even came out. Because you said, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thing. That game should have been free to play. I know they
Still should be.
probably would go like, well, that wouldn't have made us much money, but I mean, who's buying the fucking
I
game?
would argue it would have made you a lot more money. I'd say.
Yeah, there's so much evidence that if you put a game that's failing free to play, you have a chance. And that game, I feel like it's a good package, and if you release it for free for people and they can play it without paying money, and then they are allowed to pay money for stuff they want, it'll work better than a game that's just sitting on the shelf or not sitting on shelves because they can't sell it.
I would say that the games that I see that do the best is it's a free-to-play game. You can unlock everything by playing the game so much, or you can take the short road and pay for it rather
I
than,
hate those fuckers.
oh, okay, you want level 2? Well, that's $5.99, and then when you get to level 25, that's $30.
You don't see that many more though. That was
No.
early.
No,
free to
I'm
play.
just saying, but
Yeah.
you still see some of them around, or unlock this content for only so much. No, give me the entire game for free, and I'll give you microtransactions every so often.
You'll give them microtransactions, make them pay you.
That's right. Yeah. You want me to test this game and play this game?
Well, I mean, we've brought it up.
If you want 3 hours of gameplay, you got to pay me.
I don't remember what game it was, but it was on PlayStation, and for the longest freaking time, it was free to play. You download it, you could do all these things, get all these guns, collect all the freaking materials, and work your way up. And then all of a sudden, it was like, oh well, now it's $19.99 for the game, and then I checked like 2 months ago. Now it's like $24.99 for the game. I was like, wait.
Do you remember what kind of game it is?
They had, the skills, like you could turn invisible or make a copy of yourself and have the enemies like tear down that, but it was like a Destiny, but like a human version. There were like aliens, but you weren't
It's not
technically an alien.
Warframe.
All right, so we've narrowed it down to about 50% of all games out there.
Whenever I freaking remember it, because it's like on the tip of my tongue, but a lot of people freaking remember what it was. But it was free to play for the longest time, and then all of a sudden they started charging for it.
It'd be
It's
interesting to
like,
know what
wait,
game that
what?
is.
Yeah.
It was really fun when I played it. I played it for maybe like 4 or 5 months before I, got Destiny, and I was like, oh, this is just like Destiny. Well, I'll just play Destiny.
Someone comment below on what that game is, or
I-
Google it for us,
Seriously.
and let us know.
Narrow down the
If
50%
I
of
come
all
over
games.
next time, I will have the freaking name.
Definitely.
Somebody's got bound to have known something about it.
Just
Yeah.
the little information that they gave
Even
me,
if we get a list,
right
all
there.
right, here's all the games that you just talked about.
Yeah.
Just 50% of all
I
games.
want to say it starts with a D, like Destiny, but I just do not.
The Division.
Most
No, it
disappointing game.
I'm just.
I don't even know the name.
Basically,
How
think
bad
of
was?
Division, like the gameplay that they have, but not battle wise. Not like army versus army or people versus people. It was just you
People
work
versus
together
aliens.
with people, other characters. You can see everybody online, but you weren't like head-to-head combat with them. You could battle people, like send a request to like fight them or
It's
something.
gonna drive me
but-
crazy.
I know. You know what? I'm just gonna sit on my phone for a little while and try to figure it out. If I just blurt out a name, you'll
Yeah,
know.
no, let us know if you find it. Thoughts on Battleborn anymore?
It's actually on my list too.
Yeah.
So it's made by the same people who make Borderlands, so I was really excited about it because I love Borderlands, and it just was so...
Gearbox doesn't have a great track record at this point, though.
It's and I don't want to get into that too much, but it's kind of sad because they were super promising. They made Borderlands, which was fantastic. Borderlands 2, which
Amazing
exceeded in
game.
every
Mhm.
fucking way. But everything else they released is just fucking not well received. They did Colonial Marines, which
Oh,
is
God.
regarded as one of the worst games ever made, which is kind of crazy, and it was also super hyped. I was excited for it, didn't touch it after how bad I heard it was.
Mhm.
I typically don't let reviews sway me too much, but people were just like, this game is fucking horrible. It's like buggy, like don't even touch it. They did Duke Nukem, which isn't necessarily fully their fault, but I think a lot of the writing is their fault because they're the ones that chose the really fucking juvenile humor. Like, I know Duke Nukem's always been really kind of ridiculous, but it was more of like a parody of like 90s action stars versus like picking up a hunk of shit and drawing with it. Like,
Yeah.
it just it's kind of set the tone of the game. And whatever the fuck else they released. I mean, like,
Mhm.
they used to make Brothers in Arms, which were great, but they
Mhm.
don't do those anymore. Like,
Cool.
it's weird.
Sad.
Go ahead, Chris. We knocked out.
So
one
first
or
one's
two.
Battleborn. We
Mhm.
talked about that. Second honorable mention for me would be Pokken Tournament.
Oh
I
yeah,
was really
definitely.
hyped
Was
about
that this year?
Yeah. Real hyped
Yeah.
about that game. You get into it and there's like maybe like 9 characters and there's no reason to play most of them.
Mhm.
There's like maybe 2 or 3 Pokemon that just
I heard the balance is real fucked in that game.
Oh,
there's
it
no
is.
balance.
Yeah.
I watched
The game literally exists for people who like Pokemon that can be fooled into thinking they're gonna get a good fighting game with those. Then
Yeah.
you get like no Pokemon. There's barely any in there, and there's some weird fucking choices
Mhm.
for a fighting game. And the the fighting's weird the way
Yeah.
it's set up. I can appreciate it being experimental, but it's not enjoyable.
Didn't work, yeah.
No.
I felt like I was on autopilot while I was playing.
Yeah, it was really hyped up for me. Well, maybe it was just me, but to be like Tekken, but using Pokemon.
I was excited because of the Tekken aspect.
Yeah.
I love Tekken.
Yeah, and it's nothing like that at all.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. Like all you have to pick is Mewtwo, and you just chain combo, and they can't do anything. It's game over.
Mhm.
There's no
Just like
balance.
real life.
No. But the biggest disappointment for me this year is actually The Division.
One of those people.
Yep.
I was wondering why when we were talking about it earlier, it's like,
It's coming. I got a feeling.
Oh, got it. Defiance.
Oh.
oh yeah, Defiance is
Like that
dope.
game.
Yeah. I actually liked playing that,
No,
but then I
I
stopped.
have
after
played it.
a
I have it on
while.
Oh.
PC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we.
Oh, it's the
But
TV
you
show
had to
game.
buy
Yeah,
it.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
it was a TV show.
It wasn't
Gotcha.
free on PC, so
Yeah,
it was free to
was-
play after you bought it, though.
Yeah, no, it was free for quite a while, and then last time I looked, it was like $25. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, weird. No, that game was,
Interesting.
that game was
So yeah, it
pretty decent.
became popular again.
That's fun.
Nice.
But yeah, The Division. I was very disappointed in
It
it.
started with a D.
I mean, at first I had a lot of fun playing it, but then it's so repetitive. It's the same fucking thing over and over, just different locations, and even then those locations are very similar to one another. There's no point in picking multiple different talent trees. Like, yeah, there's fun, neat little things, but you just pick the core thing that everybody else picks.
Mm.
There's no reason to pick anything else. It's disappointing.
Have you played into either of the 2 expansions that are out yet?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Our boss keeps talking about the survival one, though, and it sounds kind of neat,
He's
actually.
loving it. Sounds pretty cool.
Hmm.
It's on our list. We'll revisit eventually.
Yeah, I'd like to go back and play it again because with all the new updates stuff like that, I'd like to see what they've added. I think not Destiny, but it's similar. The Division is following Destiny in the same kind of really good idea. Played well at first, enjoyed it, but towards endgame, it's trying to take a lot of these ideas from MMOs, but doesn't implement them as well. Doesn't keep you invested as long. And I feel like all the good ideas that in the beginning you're like, these are really fucking cool, that's all they had.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you get to the end, you've been using those great ideas, you've been doing all those, experiencing all those great ideas, and they don't have any new ones or better ones towards the end game. You're just doing the same thing again.
Yep.
And the worst thing about it is these games, both of them, and of course we're talking about the disappointing games of this year, but Destiny's in the exact same boat, is both these games are backed by huge fucking companies with great ideas. Bungie's a super talented fucking company. They made fucking Halo. And then whatever division of Ubisoft that worked on the Division, I mean, both these companies just like towards the end, like add something brand fucking new. That's super fucking cool. Change it up.
Well, and not to mention that Tom Clancy is also part of, the owner of the Division, and Splinter Cell, all kinds of games like that, that are really good. And
oh, I love every Tom Clancy game. Like I'm a huge fan. I can't wait for Wildlands.
Yeah, it looks dope.
Yeah.
Just hope it doesn't turn into the Division.
But the Division is a faux MMO, so it's following that system. Wildlands is straight up a shooter.
Right.
There'll be gear. I mean, did you ever play Rainbow Six Vegas or Vegas 2?
Yeah.
Those games are fun as fuck. A shitload of unlockables, shitload of weapons. Really fun to play. I mean, like, if Ubisoft can just go back to that just like, let's play co-op with your friends, have a bunch of cool shit to unlock, play it like a game that's not trying to be a faux MMO and follow those archetypes, I think Wildlands is going to be great. I don't think it's going to be bad at all.
Well, I think like you had kind of pretty much said was with both of the two faux MMO shooters that have come out by these giant companies, great ideas, but it seems like there's just a loss of focus for what to do. Also pacing, I have an issue with in both games, and this might just be the nature of trying to put this kind of game on a console. But I feel like you're just going through it so fast that it's really easy to get the end game stuff and you're done like super quickly. They either need to have extra activities to do, or they need to slow down the end game a little.
Well, I think another thing that's really hurting these games is because they are trying to simulate MMOs, and secretly they have no intentions of these games being MMOs. They wanted to have an end finish, like you beat a fucking single-player game or a co-op game, because they're planning on making Destiny 2. I'm sure they'll make the Division 2. This isn't an MMO. It's not going to last 10 years. It's not a 10-year game, even though they said fucking Destiny was going to be.
10 years of Destiny, yeah.
Yeah, it's loose, but the wording, it makes you think you're investing in an MMO. So you're expecting, like, from MMOs, new content, new ideas, new systems. You're gonna get the new raids, but like, you're expecting this this just complete like updating of the game itself, and just getting better, better, and better. And both these games are already set in what they are. They have no intentions of updating them and making them into better and better games, because you bought the game already. They're just going to give you some new content. So that's kind of the misleading thing there, that I don't think they're necessarily trying to fool you into, but they definitely know that you're buying that game thinking that you're going to be playing an MMO. And it's not. And they never said it was going to be technically. So when you're playing it and you're like, well, this is kind of like an MMO. It's cool. Hopefully they add some new, like, really neat new shit, not just more of the same. And you don't get it, you get disappointed. But at the same time, these are beginning to end games that are MMOs. Which I think hurts the expectations.
At least as far as the Division goes, the only thing, and I'm with you as far as like the base game goes, because once you do get to the end, I mean, I think we all kind of stopped playing right before the first. It wasn't the expansion.
Like
the first,
a week before.
The first raid raid. They didn't want to call it that. Came out. So I haven't experienced that, but I do know with the two expansions, the first one's very PvE focused, and it's supposed to be, I think, just a randomized area. So it's different every time you play a type of thing.
It's
the underground
subway.
Yeah. And I'd be curious to try that. I love, I think that the thought process there is really cool. I haven't heard any reception about it. I'll probably have to look it up.
I've heard good things about it.
And then listening to our boss talk about the survival mode, it just sounds like a baby version of like DayZ, which is kind of neat. You get into a match. There's 24 people, and everyone's racing to cure themselves of a disease essentially, and you start with nothing except for a pistol.
So another problem with those things though, and those sound like fun, but they also seem like distractions on the side of the game that you want to keep progressing in, like zombies in Call of Duty.
You get unlocks for your character after playing that.
I know you do, but you're not using that in the main game anymore.
No. You play enough matches and you get a loot box for your actual character.
I know. And the content that doesn't exist beyond. So you just have this shit now, which is cool. I'm glad that they added stuff to unlock from this in your game.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not separated, but I'm saying now that they've made that side thing that's fun to do and you get this loot or whatever, the actual game doesn't have anything to carry on for.
No, and that's obviously, I agree with that as well.
Because it's not an MMO.
Exactly. I do think it's a step in the right direction with that game. As for everything I've heard about Destiny is like they'll add another raid from time to time, but they don't really change too much. It's just the same old formula over and over again.
Sure.
So,
which is disappointing for the Division, for me, because I enjoyed playing the Division more than I enjoyed playing Destiny. Destiny feels like Halo to me, which is great, plays great. It's an awesome, fun playing game. But the Division is more my alley. I like tactical games. I like being able to take cover. I like their cover system. I like the moves like that. So it was a lot more fun for me to play. It felt more involved. It was less run, jump, shoot. So it does kind of suck that they didn't kind of go forward with that. But with these type of games, I mean, the big thing is like they need to do like expansions and not like how Destiny has expansions and it's like new PvP stuff and there's one new area.
Yeah.
Like
the Division of game modes instead of places.
Yeah.
The city in the Division fucking add a whole new fucking section of it.
Yeah.
So kind of basically do like what WoW does.
Exactly.
Oh,
like
you want the
Add a whole
DLC
new
or
freaking planet.
expansion? Well, let's add an entire new content and
raise the level cap and blah blah blah.
and a million things for you to do. And
That's what the Division needs to do. They need to add a new district of New York that
Yeah.
you can go to now. Has its own flair because it's a whole other part of New York. Have new fucking enemy types. Up the level cap like an MMO would. Have new fucking weapons and items to get. Maybe some new skills or whatever. Make it exciting. It's basic MMO stuff.
Or
and like I
New
said,
York.
yeah.
sure, but I mean that's a little more ambitious than I'm allowing. I don't think they would even.
Baby
They're not
steps,
even going to
baby
do what I'm
steps.
saying, let alone that. I mean, it'd be cool if you could hop a plane and go to a whole new city or whatever.
Yeah.
That'd be cool too. But they're not going to do that. They don't have the intention to do that because their story and their game takes place there, and it has a beginning and an end until they make the Division 2. So that's the misleading nature that I was kind of talking about before. If it was an MMO and they had intentions of it being more like an MMO and less like a cooperative game with other people running around, they would be thinking big and not so much trying to keep you entertained in these distractions.
Should make the developers play Warframe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If any game has gone from fucking 2 locations, like 4 people and plenty of guns,
And Left 4 Dead
and you
in
just
space.
shoot guys and then get to the end and now look at it what the fuck it is. Yeah, I mean everyone needs to look at DE and go, we need to be that ambitious.
Ambitious, yeah.
We need to think big and fucking deliver.
I will say this though about the Division. This, from what I'm hearing on this new expansion, because clearly I stopped playing before the first raid came out.
As we all did.
Exactly. It sounds like they're taking a step in the direction of what they initially promised us. Because from what I heard, it was you're in New York, you have a day of food, a day of water, you and your buddies got to go trekking through the town, destroy these people on a building. You could call in people who had helicopters, that was your buddy, and spot things out, work as a team, move in tactically, and then, once you killed everybody, that you could find loot inside of it. That was my
The
impression.
original teaser of the game, yeah.
Well, it's interesting because when the game was originally revealed, it was absolutely trying to take DayZ's steam. It was a survival game that was cooperative.
Yeah.
And that looked awesome.
That looked
and
fantastic.
that would have been a lot more detailed and more focused. But then they definitely, because of the success of Destiny, or at least it coming out, they switched gears and made a sustainable leveling, grinding type game because they want you to be playing it longer. But I would have been playing the original Division probably longer than I'd be playing this. I played the fuck out of Rainbow Six Vegas 2.
Yeah.
Over and over and over
Yeah.
again. The same fucking maps over and over again. Because there's so much shit to unlock.
Shit, yeah.
And so many different ways to go about missions and stuff like that. I mean, like, just offer a fucking game that's really fun with you know, not repeatable content.
I remember that was the first person shooter game that I really ever got Chris to play, is because I was like, no, Chris, you know, we're going to set them on this difficulty. You stand behind this box. I'm going to stand over here. I'm going to fire. They're going to come down this ladder, and you're just going to light them up. And sure enough, it was, you know, one enemy. Chris would level up, and it was like sliced bread, you know. Oh my god, you see that? I just unlocked frag grenade, or I just unlocked this cool mask, or
Do like
whatever.
unlockables.
You know, it was
That's why they put
customizable.
them in games.
I remember playing online and running around in a completely white outfit, but it had blood splatter all over it with a mask, you know.
Hey,
And
Dexter.
it was cool, but I'm just saying,
Yeah,
I would
he's
still go back and
cleanly.
play that game. And that's the kind of, like, agree with you, that's the kind of genre or, you know, style of game that they need to continue making and bring into this
Which
new
one
era.
that's going to be. Unless that all of a sudden, before it comes out, they're like, well, it's actually kind of like an MMO. And be like, we already did this. I think I'll skip this one.
Any other games?
That's it. That's
Well,
it for me.
And so, does anybody feel disappointed by the Division? I mean, you said you do. I'm gonna wait until the end product of it is out to kind of hold that off. I'm not disappointed. I got plenty of hours out of it. I
did.
bought
I was
the
gonna
order.
say you did.
I bought the Order 1886. So I mean, like
Ooh.
I've bought in $6 games that I played for like 2 hours.
too.
I got my money's worth of the Division. I hope they
You wanted
they
to
can
play
spice it up.
more,
Definitely.
and it wasn't there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So-
Which, in that way, can be disappointing. But I also played the crap out of the game and had a blast doing it. And I say the same thing about Destiny. I enjoyed the entire process. It's just when I got to the end.
Yep.
Eh.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, a couple of my buddies have no notifications at all on any planets, nothing. They're like, I don't know what to do anymore. I was like, I don't know, help me. Help
Yeah,
me!
it sucks.
Yeah, when you're gonna run into that if you play something enough, anyways. But like
Yeah, well, these guys have
both companies aren't really.
Love you, Bushman.
I hate to word it this way, but trying very hard to provide that. So.
Yeah. So I've gone. You've gone. Huh?
That's me.
Yep.
All right, so just
I thought you were like, that's you. I was
No,
like,
no.
"Anyway."
so just to continue on of what we were just talking about. For me,
The shit.
Metal Gear Solid 5 was a disappointment. It was a great game,
Wasn't this
story-wise. Story-wise, I loved the playthrough of it, but when I got to the end,
Not this year.
I was
You're on the
like,
wrong year.
am I on the wrong
You're on the wrong year.
I thought it came out this year. Okay, cool.
That was
Doesn't belong
2015.
here.
Oh, thank
Didn't
God.
they come out? Didn't they come out last year?
I
2015.
thought it came
Double
out
check.
this year.
I need to know now.
Is it Game of the Year
on the-
2015?
On the list
Yeah.
I went through, it said
Oh.
it was 2016.
It could have been like
Maybe it was an update.
the list could have started in
They
December.
released
Okay.
a version with all the updates this year.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, does that count or not?
No, but fuck it. Metal Gear Solid 5 was super disappointing.
I'm just saying it was a.
Metal
it
Gear Solid's
was-
my favorite series of all time.
It's one of my favorite series of all time. I just got bored at the end because what do I do now? I've done the same thing 20 times for the last, I don't know, 4 hours. What do I do?
Trying to flip the game too much shit just because a lot of it was out of the hands of Kojima and the production company. Konami fucked that over. It's unfinished. So they released an unfinished game and doesn't have an ending. And it's a really, really fun game that
Plays amazing.
doesn't have enough cutscenes. Which is weird to say about a Metal Gear Solid because
Yeah.
all the other ones are just
Movies.
pretty much cutscenes, and I
Yeah.
love it.
Trick to this force. Cutscene. Battle. Cutscene.
Walk down this corridor.
Cutscene.
Open the door. Cutscene. Shoot a guy in the face. Cutscene.
Awesome.
All right. Anything from this year?
Yes.
Swift kick to the nuts.
Pokemon Go.
Sure.
Huge disappointment.
Really?
Huge
Yeah,
disappointment.
So
You had
Still
expectations for a
playing
mobile game?
Hypocrite.
No, I would say if I couldn't and edit this part, if I didn't hack it, I'd stop playing. In a
I
heartbeat.
didn't even know you could fucking hack that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I heard about that.
All those people getting banned.
Mhm.
I think it's fair to say that a lot of people had expectations of this game. I remember before it came out, we were talking about it. Like, oh my god, you're gonna be able to go around and fucking catch Pokemon shit, and they delivered that for sure.
That you
but,
literally do that.
but
They did add the second gen babies.
Right.
Mhm.
They're hopefully gonna, keep
I'm-
adding second gen.
I'm just saying, I get nothing but 5K eggs. My ass ain't gonna walk 5K in a
I
day.
do it work all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, easily.
I hatched.
16K baby.
I've been playing again recently, and I hatched 5 eggs yesterday.
Here's the thing. I think it's almost impossible to debate this too, but feel free to try. Um,
Oh, challenge accepted.
well, I like to debate, but
We'll see which side of the fence.
this game came out and it was fucking huge.
Yeah.
And that's putting it lightly.
Yeah.
Gigantic,
Servers
right?
crashed and-
Mm-hmm.
The fall of the people playing the game so quickly, I think, shows exactly why it was disappointing. That has to be disappointment. The hype was there
Mm-hmm.
and dropped off.
Yeah, it
What
was-
is that?
It was
Disappointment.
the number one selling app of all time.
Well, download it. It's not
Download, whatever.
Some people might have bought
And-
it. They paid somebody for something.
Now look at
You
it.
can buy the coins and shit.
Like,
So like, hand me your phone. Give
I
me
think-
$5. I'll get it.
In comparison, yes, they still make millions off it. Though.
Yeah.
sure.
Sure.
Well, I
I
think
did
the
buy $4.99 of coins the other day.
See?
what I think the big problem is for people with Pokemon Go
That's
is
why we have separate bank accounts.
the availability of Pokemon within a certain region is very limited, and it's very hard
They
to get a
changed it.
diverse. Well, I know they changed it now, but it's like
Yeah,
you know.
Tacoma was a dead zone.
And now I can't.
What?
I can't get enough Pokeballs now.
We work in Tacoma, and when I was still playing the game, when you go out there, there's nothing.
Yeah.
It was just like the whole city was just a dead zone. It's weird.
And now I can't keep up with them.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
When Pokemon Go came out, I was living pretty much in bumfuck nowhere, so I get like no signal.
There's none
for,
here.
Like,
Oh,
so
God.
There's
long.
none
I'm like,
here,
okay, I'm
there's
trying to
none at
hatch
our
these eggs,
Yeah.
But
bitch.
I mean, like we would go downtown when the big hype was going, and everybody would be down there, and it's just the same
Remember that?
thing, over and
Just
over and
remember that?
over and over
I
and
know.
over.
Driving through downtown, 10 miles per hour. Oh, did you get that Pokestop? No, I
So-
didn't. Okay, let me go around.
I remember
I have-
sitting around at a Pokestop catching Pokemon, and cars driving down the road would stop
Yep.
and hang out for a second.
Because I put a
drive
lure
off.
on it.
It was a
Yeah.
fucking phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like global phenomenon. People in Japan, a bunch of people just fucking running over to someplace, and then everyone's done.
Yep.
Yeah, the disabled home I worked at, there were like 4 of the people that were playing it too, and I'm like, wait, what? Okay.
Super casual game.
Yeah.
Super good.
It's a mobile game. I don't count it. Sorry.
Okay.
count it.
You
I think
can
that's fair.
count it.
I think it's fair.
It can be your disappointing game.
Watch
I
Dogs
just-
2.
Okay.
Watch Dogs 2.
This is a game. All right.
All right then.
Oh.
Sucks.
Shit's getting real.
I'm sorry. How many times must you remake GTA with different skins and expect it to sell? Sure, you can do a little
GTA does it all the
extra.
time.
Yes, but at least they have an overall story behind it. I mean, Watch Dogs has
Now
a
you can
story,
make
but
characters.
it's literally I could play this game, but there's a bigger community over in GTA.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I can do more things in GTA than I can do in Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah, but the only thing they're doing in GTA is finding other people online and just blowing them up.
That's half the fun of the
Dude,
game.
that was
Or,
awesome!
or hacking cars into the garage and getting them for free.
Or taking a motorcycle off a jump, and seeing how cool and how far you can get. I mean, that's something to do. Watch Dogs 2 is like, go do this mission.
Sounds like you're a big fan of
Good.
GTA, which is great.
And doesn't even.
I like it. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I have friends that still play GTA. Whereas,
Well, the thing that's really interesting about that is the original Watch Dogs came out, and obviously it was met with disappointment. because of what they originally, Ubisoft fucking misled. For what you assumed would be the game. And if you pay attention to the trailer, I mean, literally outside the graphics, it showed you exactly what you'd be doing. We assumed there'd be more. They kind of dropped the ball on that. I bought that game on a whim. I was like, I'm gambling. I played it. I got about 40% through the game. Never touched it again. I mean, I think I still own it digitally, and I'm never gonna touch it. So with 2 coming out, it was supposed to fix almost everything. There's more things to hack, more freedom, more things to do. They added parkour to the game. I think it actually sounded really cool. The only reason I didn't pick it up is because I have too many fucking video games. I'm not gonna play the game. But I heard overall really good things about it. So outside of your comparison of GTA 5, was there anything about it specifically, like you weren't interested in the hacking, which is kind of its own individual thing versus GTA?
I think that was its niche, hacking, which was cool. Then they threw this parkour thing in there, kind of like, we'll take an idea from Mirror Edge and all these other games that have implemented parkour, and we'll take a few things over here and here and throw it together and make GTA.
So dabble in Assassin's Creed and just kind of throw that in there.
Basically.
Yeah, and I'm talking about this game almost pseudo-defending it. I've never even played it. So maybe I shut my mouth, because maybe it is awful. I'm going to play back, fuck, he was right. The parkour, though, is kind of interesting. Like, obviously, you're going to draw direct comparisons to Assassin's Creed. But Assassin's Creed tries to keep it more simple because it's supposed to be back in like the medieval times, so people are like climbing and more so simple vaults, stuff like that. But like in Watch Dogs 2, I was watching people do like sideways flips and shit over stuff, which I thought was kind of cool.
Parkour.
Yeah, literal parkour, exactly.
Literal parkour.
And I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know, it kind of sucks to hear that it's not that great because it's a game in this fantasy world where I assume I would have bought it and played it and enjoyed it and we would have had a love affair and would have been great. And I'm just never gonna buy it probably.
Skip down
After the
hands.
bad publicity that Watch Dogs, the original one, got, it just has a sour taste in my mouth for it. So I probably won't even give it a shot, unfortunately.
Well, that's the thing that sucks too. Is like we actually did a reaction video for the trailer when it came out. And I was completely burned by fucking Watch Dogs. I played, I was like, man, if they make a second one, fuck them.
Mm-hmm.
That was so underwhelming that I don't even trust them at this point.
Exactly.
And then I watched the trailer for Watch Dogs 2, I'm like, this looks cool.
Fell for it again.
I know, I was like, I need to be careful. But it looks like
you on the left side, let's hit the right.
It looks like they fixed a lot of things, and then the reviews came out, and it said it was fucking fun. But then the reviews came out and no one was talking about it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so it must have been... They got 13-year-olds at IGN and all those places. Possibly. Some of them were fucking pretty dumb. Squeakers. But yeah, I don't know. This kind of sucks because, like I said, I'm never going to play it probably.
I mean, like, there are fun aspects of the game. Like, you're in your car and cops are chasing you. You can divert a car in front of you and whatnot, hack it while you're driving. But, I mean, for me, it's just, I'd rather play GTA than Watch Dogs 2.
I'd rather play Warframe,
Anything.
Titanfall 2, Dead Rising 4,
Okay.
Forza Horizon 3.
If I could play Skyrim, I'd still be losing days to Skyrim.
I can't play it.
My PS3's broken.
It blew up.
Yeah.
It didn't blow up.
The
It
remaster
Oh,
came out on
it's
PS4.
literally blew up.
I won't let her buy it because I have it on PC.
Yep.
With all the DLC.
And I have 2 copies for the PS3.
That's
I
why
just
she can't
need
play
another
it?
PS3.
Yeah, she can play it whenever she
Oh.
wants. I just won't let her buy it for PS4.
'Cause he's like,
Why?
"Dick,
Why? I already spent the $60 to get the collector's edition. I have all the DLC.
I have the collector's edition.
Why get it for PS4 when you can get all the mods on PC and make it a million times better?
Okay, well,
Yeah.
how about I go spend $100 and some odd dollars and go buy another PS3 so I can play the 32 fucking games that I still have for a PS3.
Again, this is why
This
we
sounds
have
like a bedroom argument.
Anyways,
I was getting sucked into this on my computer. Let's hear more, dude.
Damn,
What else is going on?
I live with this.
alright, so my number one
No, you
disappointing
don't. It's
game,
broken. You don't have to live with anything.
Far Cry Primal. It's.
I really like
Did that come out
it,
this year?
though.
Yes.
Very early, I think.
I
Yes.
loved that game.
Yeah, you played it like
I-
a lot.
I beat it in like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You
Well,
beat
'cause,
it in
like-
like 3 days, and what difference other than you're primitive has it from any other Far Cry you've ever played?
You get to use animals.
There's no guns, and you just beat the shit out of people, and it's really rewarding melee combat in this
Mr.
primal
Hawk, attack
setting.
him.
I'm just
And then
saying.
you have the hawk, you have all these animals, you can ride a fucking bear. There's, I mean, the characters, the storyline's not as interesting as the prior. I like Far Cry, so I don't know.
I got.
the world of Far Cry.
I'm just.
I like everything about Far Cry.
I'm
I
just
love the
sick
whole, like,
of-
getting thrown into the woods and going crazy.
I guess for me, I'm just sick of. Here's an island. Go look at that vantage point. Now go capture this territory. Kill
Ubisoft
these
is
people.
on this list a lot, man.
Well, so it sounds like specifically someone really doesn't like Ubisoft.
Fix your shit, Ubisoft. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm just tired of them making the same game with a new skin and adding 1 or 2 different features into it and calling it a brand new game. That's not a new game. That's a skin on with a half hour's worth of DLC added to it.
Yeah, so pay $20 extra for this game, and here's like a handful of new things.
I mean, I can remember playing like Far Cry 4. Yeah, it was cool for a while. You got to run around in the Jeep, go into the water, stab a shark, get eaten by a
Sounds like
shark.
Far Cry.
Shark
But
in the nose.
other than that,
Goddamn
for me,
hippos.
it was like, what real difference is this from the other game? I still run around on an island full of.
I don't want to
drug
add
lords.
fuel to your fire too, but they use the exact same map. From
Yeah,
before.
exactly.
But
I'm just
if
saying.
no one looked at them from the top, I don't think they would have noticed. They did a good job on changing the topography.
I'm just saying. I mean, if you're gonna release a new game, be original with it. Don't just be like.
I don't know. Like my
copy-paste.
experience in Primal is completely different than my experience in 3 and 4. And I'm only saying 3 and 4 because 1 and 2 were not. I mean, 2 was kind of the beginning of all this, but it's not the same. There was a bunch of weird shit in that game. But 3 and 4, like, you just run through the woods, fucking setting traps and fucking unloading with machine guns constantly while fucking alligators are ripping you all, like, ripping you up and shit.
Doing your little hunts.
Yeah, Primal, like, I remember I'm, like, up in the north in the snow, and I'm, like, creeping around with my spear, and I have to go hunt, like, I needed something from, like, some woolly mammoths or whatever. I got my saber-tooth with me, and we're both just, like, creeping, and I see just this, and this is how horrible I am, I see this single little baby woolly mammoth just sitting there, and I'm like, that's gonna be easy. I can kill
Nope,
the,
it's a trap.
I can kill the fuck out of that baby. That baby's gonna take like 8 shots. That's fine. So I fucking pull back my saber tooth, just fucking like, let's do this. And I fucking just go whack, and I hit it, and then I hit it again. And as soon as I hit it, like the 3rd time, and it goes down finally, I see out in the distance every fucking giant woolly mammoth just looks over at me, and I'm like,
Oh, fuck.
and they're starting to come at me. I'm like, okay, fuck it. And I just like run in there, and I'm just like ripping the thing up, and the whole place is going, and my fucking saber tooth's just like getting ready to fight. I'm like, we're not fighting anything. We're not fighting anything. Hold on a second. And I fucking cut the thing up, and I'm like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. And fucking they're also
Jump
running
off
in. I
the
throw a
saber.
spear into one's face, get on my thing, and just fucking right out of there. And that's not an experience that I've really had in like almost any game ever. I felt real fear. I was like, I'm fucking murdered in this primal fucking wasteland, icy fucking tundra, by these rightfully angry fucking woolly mammoths who I just killed their child because I need some fucking pelts. It was awesome. It was amazing.
Sounds like a
You
very
take a
unique
fucking club, you can
experience.
chuck it into some guy's head.
Yeah, first game that scared me, like how you were talking about, was Cabela's Most Dangerous Hunts.
I like that
First time
experience,
ever
fuck too.
playing it, I fucking was just, walking around. I'm gonna go kill this boar, gotta find it. Next thing you know, I'm getting hit from behind. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I turn around, it's a goddamn moose just attacking me. And I was like, what do I do?
We have very different experiences on that game.
Well, it was my first time playing. I've
No,
never ever played any
I know,
of
but
those
I
before.
spawned in on one, and I'm like, all right, I gotta go hunt some deer, whatever. And I turn the corner, and there's a grizzly bear, and he's like, "Bruh."
Small.
Well, that was a fast experience for me.
That's what I would expect though, but the moose is, it's kind of like
Well, they are actually
Curveball.
Moose are mean.
territorial.
Moose are very mean.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen videos. They're also like 3 stories tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
So
quite that tall, but
What else did you not like about Far Cry Primal? Was there anything in particular you didn't like?
I just feel like it's with slightly different aspects, the same game redone. That's my biggest issue with Ubisoft is they take a lot of like, okay, we had success with this game, let's copy, paste it over here.
They absolutely have a
throw a
formula
new
they
skin
put
on
in
it.
all their games. Explore, find a high point, get a vantage point to see the area, get experience for that, and then when you find a location, you can pick your like way to go in. Assassin's Creed does it. Fucking Far Cry does it.
Like a game plan.
Yeah, I mean they all follow a formula, but they all have their own themes and their own weapons and their own play styles that change it up. I do agree that the formulaic thing probably should change because people are already tired of it. People are gonna get tired of it. But I think Primal was, even though I think it should have been a $40 game, because it does borrow a lot. It almost feels like a conversion mod, full conversion mod. But so kind of giving you some credit on that. But in a way, I think it's more different feeling than 3 to 4.
It was a very beautiful game.
It was really cool, and it was really neat to experience a caveman game. I mean, those don't really exist too much.
In a sense, yeah.
So
I played dinosaur games on the computer back in the day. And,
yeah, and I have
You can
too.
play
but
Ark right now.
we don't really
Ark.
see. Yeah, Ark is fantastic.
I love it. I play it all the time.
I love Ark, and Primal reminded me of Far Cry being inspired by Ark. And I really liked the combat. I liked being able to stab people with spears and then throw a spear into somebody and like get a headshot with that. And then like just the upgrades were really interesting because you're not dealing with grenades and machine guns. So they had to get really creative with like throwing 2 spears at once, shit like that.
So I really hate to even say this then, but you might want to be weary of Horizon Zero Dawn because it's looking a lot like a Far Cry style game.
Yeah,
I
very
mean,
aware of that.
looks
Robot
amazing.
It looks
game.
amazing,
Yes.
yeah.
It does look freaking cool, but yeah, I was actually thinking that.
But watching gameplay looks a
looked
lot
like
like Far
that,
Cry.
and Colossal. It kind of
Less.
reminds me of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wasn't too happy with the first one.
I don't know.
still
I'm
trying to see
I'm
it.
super stoked for Horizon, but I also haven't played the Far Cry games, so I don't have anything that's really gonna.
Taint it for you?
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole new
They're
game. for me.
fantastic, and 3 is better than it should even be allowed to be, especially
Well,
its
I mean-
storyline.
It was pretty much all the internet talked about after it came out. So
For good reason. It's beyond what you would assume it would have been. But yeah, got any more disappointing Ubisoft games? Most disappointing company, Ubisoft. Stop making the same game with different people in it.
not for me. Mine was Gearbox.
Yeah, fair. Were you disappointed in anything?
Of this year, I can't really think of any of the games that I've played. Like, I barely buy any new games, such as like I stick
Disappointed.
to my comfort zone.
Disappointed in the PS3 blowing up. Yes?
If
Touchy
the camera
subject.
could see my face right now.
All right, let us know in the comments below. What was your most disappointing game of 2016? Hopefully we didn't offend anybody by talking shit about some
I
games
don't
or
give a fuck if you're offended.
being a little disappointed in games, mainly Ubisoft and The Division and Destiny. But yeah, let us know. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Tastecast, episode 19. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check out episode 18. Let's get those views up even further because I'm curious on how much we can get out of that. At this point, I'm just like, whoa, that's crazy. And yeah, thanks for the new subscribers and the old subscribers. Thanks for sticking around. We appreciate you guys. But yeah, check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, Tasty Gaming. Check us out on Twitch, Sleep Division. And as always, thank you for watching. My name's Seth.
I'm Frank.
Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And until the next episode, which will be next Tuesday, have a good weekend, guys. Have a good Christmas if you celebrate that. And we'll see you guys later. Take it easy, guys.
Happy holidays.